Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ground Up Podcast, coming to you from the Level Wellness Studio inside a B2 Wellness Suites here in Brentwood, Tennessee, the show that turns pain into pivot and gives you the confidence to build your business. I am Terry Barga. I am joined with Vanessa Hampton, and Roy Mangrum is MIA. But today, we have a very special guest filling his seat. It is Shannen Stewart from Heels Handshakes. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
I barely got that out. It's Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Post-Expo. Here we are.
It was good. You did it.
I mean, you guys had such a killer expo. I'm surprised you're still able to operate here. It would take me 2 to 3 weeks to recover from that.
It's been a hard week.
Yes, there's been a lot of keeping each other accountable and making sure that we're responding to things in proper order.
Yes.
But we're excited to have you. I want to talk about all the things.
Yeah.
So we like to get a little context from our guests. One, maybe real quick, give everybody a flyover of what Heels and Handshakes is.
Yeah, absolutely. So Heels and Handshakes is a professional networking group for female founders and women in corporate. We meet monthly. So we have a Vegas chapter, Chicago, and Nashville chapter. And the Nashville chapter meets on the second Thursday of every month, and we provide education, resources, and referrals.
That was really easy flyover.
That was
nice
so
job.
good.
Guys, that is how you do it.
Thanks.
That's the elevator right up, right?
Yep.
That's exactly what that is. So when you were a little girl and you thought about what you wanted to be when you grew up, was it this?
Hell no. Can I cuss?
You just did. You're good.
So no, it's so funny. I never thought I was going to be a business owner or an entrepreneur. I grew up with, my mom was very much like, you go to college, you get the degree, you work for corporate America. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I just never thought I'd be a business owner. I was just very structure. And so I always say I left corporate for a calling.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
Might steal that.
What was the corporate job?
So corporate job overview, I worked for a national company supplier. Mm-hmm. So trade shows, events, and
now I'm starting to
that's how it all came together. But I was with them through 2 acquisitions. We had 4 locations. We went to 28 locations. I was very high up, but the full picture that it came together is the company that I worked for, all of my clients were men. And I was in a very male-dominated industry. Nothing against men. We're
unpacking this.
We love men. But that's really how left corporate for a calling is I realized that there was a need to have a space for women in their careers. Like you said, don't gatekeep, share resources, build community. And so that's how it all came together.
Yeah, that's my PR pet peeve there. If you're watching this and you're a PR company, don't gatekeep.
Don't gatekeep. Yeah, don't. There's enough to go around. Share resources and tell people.
I ain't trying to steal your clients.
That's why we are collaboration over competition.
Absolutely.
In everything that we do.
Yes.
Well, and then also to go a little bit deeper on that, the people that gatekeep, they have the mindset of scarcity, not mindset of abundance.
100%.
And that's, it's you need to know there's enough to go around for everybody.
Yeah, that we spend a lot of time talking about that. The scarcity mentality is I would say it's dead, but I think a lot of people are starting to understand that it is dying. We don't need to mess with the truth in order to create a sale. We don't need to create urgency. In some level, it's acceptable, right? We did this with the expo. We're almost sold out. And that was the reality, right?
Yeah.
Until we were sold out. Do we keep taking booths? Yes.
Yeah. Even when it is sold out, you're like, oh, wait, we got one more.
We'll find a spot for that.
Yep.
That spot by the bathroom is totally fine.
Yes. That there is there's millions of people on the planet. You can't possibly service them all.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, and it was so interesting. Early on in my corporate career, I feel like for at least my experience, it was the women that were above me. They didn't have women above them that shared resources, that taught you how to ask for a promotion, ask for a raise, taught you what EBITDA was. Women didn't talk about money. They didn't talk about this. And so the women that were above me, since they didn't have it, it was kind of this going back to gatekeeping, well, then why should I tell you? No one was there for me.
Right.
Where I wanted to change the narrative and I'm like, oh, no. I've learned this. I want to tell everybody because nobody did that for me. I want to create a community where we can share resources and be like, hey, coulda, woulda, shoulda done this early on in my career, or I wish I knew about this.
Yeah.
So
empowering instead of functioning from a place of insecurity.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, crack it open. Let's go. Elaborate.
So with that, how long ago did you start Heels and Handshakes?
So I started it in 2013. Y'all, this is our 13th anniversary.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm really excited. We're turning 13 on December 13th. So this is our golden birthday. I don't know if people do that for businesses, but I'm doing it. I'm like, it's our golden birthday.
Break the mold.
Yeah.
Did you immediately start it when you left corporate?
That's such a great question. So I did not. And I try to be really crystal clear on that. I started in 2013 and it was a side hustle. So I still had the corporate job, paying the bills, and I was building Heels and Handshakes up. And then I went full time with it in 2019. I remember 2020 was like the big year. And then, March, everything happened. But no, I'm glad that you asked that. So I really used my corporate job to build capital so then I could really invest in Heels and Handshakes.
We talk about that a lot. We've had several conversations about there are some people that will take a dive out of their career and go full into that. I didn't do that either.
Yeah.
When I left corporate, I did leave I was in finance for 19 years.
Oh, okay.
And I did leave finance completely to be in the health and wellness space. But I worked for a physical therapy clinic for a year, anticipating longer while I was building my personal training clientele. And so when it became big enough to where I was having to turn clients, like personal training clients, away because of the job that I was holding, then that's when I took the leap into full time. But we talk about that all the time, and how setting yourself up, even if I bring somebody on the Bodywell team, I want you to have another thing so that you can do this without income being your primary. It doesn't, some people have that, and if you can do that, then it's awesome.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always work that way. So, yeah.
Well, and keep in mind, I was saying, I was just raised with, it was you go to college, you have the corporate job. I'm not a big risk taker. Mm-hmm. So that was scary to me as well, to be oh, we're just going to go all in. But the thing that was so ironic about that is I was like, okay, got to have my ducks in a row, got to have XYZ money, this. And then the pandemic happened. And then that kind of taught me you can plan, but then sometimes the world and the universe is like, ha ha ha, good one. Because literally we launched, so I will share this. We launched the membership portfolio in 2020. So from 2013 to 2019, we were still doing in-person meetings.
Okay.
And the really cool thing about that is we first started and there was 10 of us. And then be 15, 20, 30, growing organically. Because people would tell other people oh my gosh, have you heard about Heels and Handshakes? It's this group that meets. And at that time, we were only hospitality. So my one revenue stream was events. Well, then 2020, I was like, okay, we got to up it. We need 5 revenue streams. So it was advertising, events, membership. But when I launched the membership in January, then March, the world shut down. And I was like, oh, cool. I just launched this. And
timing's wonderful.
Yeah. But that was kind of eye-opening to me because I was I'm such a planner and I'm not risk averse. But that taught me you have to go with it because you're never going to know unless you do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm scrappy. I'll tell you what, we pull together.
And that's what it takes.
Yeah.
You can be a planner and you can anticipate and you can do everything that's the biggest takeaway from being an entrepreneur. That's the whole reason for the pivot.
That's the podcast right there.
Yeah.
Is you have to be flexible in that, and it doesn't mean that it's not stressful. It's still stressful, but you figure it out. You figure it out.
You definitely figure it out.
I wanted to ask that because if you think about our listeners, right, and there is, there's the section of listeners out there that are like, man, I don't think I can make the jump. So
it's scary.
What did it look like
I
for
hear that
you?
A lot too.
Yeah. What did it look like for you in that corporate position? What helped you? I know the capital does help, right?
Yeah.
To build the safety net does help a ton. I joke about this all the time. When I first started my business back in, was it 2007? Your boy did not have a safety net.
Not like what we're talking about.
No, I was definitely much. I had a really good relationship with risk, but what was it, outside of that, or was there, or was that all there was to help give you that confidence to make?
No, for me, that's literally why I say I left corporate for a calling, because at that time, so I'm going to just paint a picture. I didn't have my son until 2017. So before 2017, it was 2013 to 2017. I was working a very high demanding corporate job. I had 9 markets. I was traveling 3 weeks out of the month. So it's also like, cool, I'm paying for a mortgage and I'm only there 1 week with my husband.
That's crazy.
So very intense schedule while having Heels and Handshakes, meeting, events, all of it. And the calling was, I was like, man, I could be doing so much more if it was just all focused on Heels and Handshakes. And I say this a lot. And for your entrepreneurs and business owners listening, I say to create a hype folder, because as a business owner, I mean, it is emotional roller coasters, up and down, right? And so my hype folder is saving screenshots from text, email, whatever it is. If a client or member would come and say something, I would save it all and put it in my hype folder. And the last straw that broke the camel's back, or however that saying goes, is in 2019, there was a woman that did not get a job because she was pregnant. Like flat out, they did not hire her. And she was the most experienced, the most capable for the job. And that was when I was like, okay, we have work to do. Like it was 2019. It's not like it was like 1992 or whatever. I'm like, in 2019, people are still not hiring you because you're pregnant. But yet you were the most qualified, the most capable. So like there was just all these things. That's why I say like left corporate for a calling. It was like that was the last thing. Then it was women being like, Shannen, because of Heels and Handshakes, I was able to hire 2 employees. Thank you. Or Shannen, because of Heels and Handshakes, you got me connected to this DMC and we just got a $95,000 order. And like we track our revenue. So we've actually tracked over $2 million in B2B revenue. So it was like hearing things like that. I was like, this is what I'm passionate about.
So you're going back to that hype folder remind you in those times of like, okay, I can do this. And this is why I'm doing this.
Yes. That's so like thank you. So like anyone that's doubting it, like keep your hype folder of like the impact that you're making for your clients, the feedback that you're getting. And just to remind yourself, like, this is your why, right? Yeah. And I wish that I had the courage to just be like, go and do it. But it's like hearing looking at my hype folder and hearing from our community, I was like, no, this means more to me than a 401k and safety net. But my husband always jokes. He's like, you left a 9 to 5 to work for yourself 24 hours. He's like, cool.
It's so true. It's so true.
That's the joke, right? The entrepreneur joke is that I make my own hours all the time.
Or have you seen the recent one that's like going around social media? It's like, I left the corporate job because I never got a lunch break and now I don't even eat.
Yep.
It's so true, but it's on your own terms. Yeah. And you can't blame anybody else for that. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing.
Yet I do try.
Yeah.
I do try. No, I think it's awesome, and I do want to go a little bit deeper into the corporate background and how it's helped you. Yeah. Because there's elements to going out on your own where people don't feel qualified because they're imposter syndrome. I know it's an overused term. Gets in the way. We forget that our experiences, we can actually stand on that business, right, and build something from it. How has some of that helped, like your corporate experience helped you as an entrepreneur and to coach entrepreneurs?
Yeah, that's a great question. I will say so I worked for that corporate company, and that's really how I got like my footstep. And also, how I mentioned when I had 9 markets, part of my job description was networking. Like I had to meet with 25 people a week in person. So I learned really fast, networking to me is not just check a box, it's check a pulse. I don't know about you and, your job or if your kids, like doing all of that. So like that was great. There was another company that I worked for a very short term, another corporation. And to answer your question, I realized the people at the very, very top, a lot of them don't even know what they're doing. They hire people that are smarter than them. And so to answer your imposter syndrome, this company that I, had an experience with, I remember held them up on a pedestal. I was working directly with the CEO and I realized he didn't know any of the answers. It was all the people around him. And so I was like, okay, you know what? And that's why they always say like hire people that are smarter than you or outsource your weaknesses. So that was kind of an aha moment for me.
Yeah, that's the secret, guys. Nobody knows what they're doing.
Nobody does.
You don't have to know everything.
No, you don't have to know everything.
But you don't have to pretend that you know everything, too.
That's the trick, right?
Yes.
Because that weight will drag you down. And it's not a graceful drop either. So we're going to get to more here real quick with Shannen, and we'll do that right after this quick break.
If you're a wellness or fitness pro looking for a space that truly fits the way you work, check out B2 Wellness Suites. With locations in Brentwood and Mount Juliet, B2 offers private suites, shared offices, and day rentals, all in a calm, welcoming environment designed for our industry. But it's more than just a space. It's a community of like-minded professionals who support, inspire, and grow together. Learn more at b2suites.com.
All right, we're back. And if you're just joining us, we're joined with Shannen Stewart from Heels and Handshakes, and we're talking about not knowing what you're doing at the top of a business. So,
yeah.
That's
like literally
right there.
Nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Or you join a community like Heels and Handshakes,
right.
and you surround yourself with people that are smarter, that have been where you're going. I mean, it's just like you never ask someone for directions that's never been where you're going. So why would you do the same thing in business? Like you find people are like, hey, you franchised, or hey, you know how to hire, or you've done an expo. Mm-hmm. You connect yourself with people who are smarter and better, and you share resources and help each other.
Yeah, 100%. And I think so I got a buddy who works in corporate America, and he's about 4 levels from the top, and he's in that middle management spot where you're just catching all of the all of the workflow, and then from the bottom up, he's catching all the questions. So it's a very stressful job to be in, and his biggest stressor for his boss is that his boss pretends like he has all the answers when in fact he doesn't have them. So that right there, I think, is the danger. So we're not sitting here, so you guys listening at home, like we're not sitting here saying that it's acceptable to not know and to pretend like you do.
Don't pretend like you do.
Just like, hey, I may not know the answer, but I can go get it. I think that's good leadership, right?
Absolutely.
That's humility.
It's huge. And it shows, it empowers the people that are working with you to do the same. They don't have to pretend that it's okay not to know everything. So,
And people see through it too. Like, I hate when you have someone, they're just talking in circles, and it's just like, just say you don't know the answer, like just say, I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
You just look at them and like, we know.
Yeah.
So your natural, it feels like a pretty natural jump for you from corporate, what you were doing in your corporate environment to what you're doing now. What does it look like for you as a leader of entrepreneurs, helping them understand? Because the fact of the matter, I talk about this all the time when I do business coaching, is like across all industries, there are like 5 to 8 foundational things that are not industry specific that you need to understand as a business owner. What's that like for you coaching entrepreneurs?
Well, I will say, just a quick disclaimer, I'm not a business coach.
No, I know.
So, okay, I was like, I'm definitely a connector.
But you're a leader in the space.
Thank you. Yes, I am a leader in the space. I always say I'm not a coach, but I am a connector, and I can help you, get the right resources. But I feel like, we were talking about humility and accountability and vulnerability. And, so especially, and I hate to say this, but with AI, we're in a trust recession right now. Have you guys heard that? Like,
I haven't.
Yeah. So we're in a trust recession. And it's so much so where like I'll be watching a video, and even my 8-year-old will be like, Mom, that's AI. Like, we don't know what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
So as a leader, and business owner, entrepreneurs, whoever you're surrounding yourself with, I think that's the biggest thing is like, and I know authentic is like such a buzzword, but like really right now, people want to work with people who are real, authentic, and who they trust, because you don't know what's real and what's not with AI right now.
Right.
Well, and I think that's where we're at, is the AI is taking us places, but it is also bringing, because of that and because of what you're talking about, it is making the focus on community and the craving of community, just like Heels and Handshakes, and just like we're experiencing the same thing. That's what we're all about. That's what people want, so that they can find that authenticity.
Absolutely.
AI serves its purpose, but it's not the be all end all.
Yeah, you want the in-person. You want to talk to people that understand your pain points. Yeah, you can type in a chat GPT and ask your problem, but it's like with people and community, it's like pain points, resources. Let me connect you in person. Oh, this person's doing this. And it's like they can pick up the phone. AI can't pick up the phone for you and make an introduction.
Right.
Like there's just things that's why we need community more than ever.
Well, it's being able to connect with somebody, even if it's not providing you resources and moving the needle for you with those connections, having people that you can relate to.
Yes.
For your mental health.
Oh, yeah.
That is huge. And that's a big part of the community aspect of it.
Absolutely. I mean, just the other day, so with Heels and Handshakes, we have our monthly meetings, but we also have intimate member meetings. So we call it Heels Hive After 5. And there's probably like about 10 of us, and 3 business owners at that event were just talking about, outside looking in, it looks like they're killing it, right? And they were so vulnerable to be like, I'm struggling. I'm stressed about payroll. I'm stressed about this. And it's like, to your point, you want other people that you can relate to and talk to about these pain points. Like, oh no, I'm going through that too.
Yeah, you mean everybody else, like what it looks like is not, everybody else is going through the same thing.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. But, with like social media, it's like, it's the highlight reel. Like, oh, everything's great. And, they're like, oh, well, actually, I just closed 2 of my locations. And you're like, that's okay. I want to hear about that. I want to hear about those conversations instead of just brushing it under the rug. Like, I'm like, tell me about it.
Right. It helps to know that it can be both things at the same time.
Yes.
Yes, it's going great. Yes, we're having all these successes, but yes, it sucks to be having these moments where you're like, okay, I do have to make payroll this week.
Yep.
It feels so good here with all the momentum that you're getting, but it also really can get scary here with, okay, is this going to, are we going to bring this together? So it is both things at the same time for a lot of business owners. And that's why we love doing this podcast and interacting with the people that we do, because we are all going through the same things.
And thank you guys for having this podcast to have these conversations and have people talk about it. And it's like, what's really going on, or like, what are your pain points? So thank you guys for doing this.
Important.
Yeah. Well, it came from the same annoying thing is the Instagram highlight reel, right?
Yeah.
It's like you got everybody and their brother posing in front of a Lamborghini saying that they're going to coach you to $1 million.
Oh gosh.
It's like, that's not realistic.
No.
Matter of fact, that's the top 3% of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
There is a hard road that you got to go through. And what they said, like most businesses don't make it past the 3-year mark. And if you make it past the 5-year mark, you may actually survive.
Yeah.
Like, what can we do collectively? And you're doing this. What can we do collectively as a unit, right, in order to help businesses fill that resource toolbox so that they can take years off of that startup? And, we start bringing that number down and success starts happening sooner. That's what we want to do for sure.
So with you are, as we call it, a high output individual like we are. And that can lead to, what do you do for yourself? Because what we've talked about a lot is there's a lot of pressure in the leader space and the leader role. And you take on, so for us with our teams, you take that on of their livelihood and what they're doing and had their successes, and making sure that you are being able to provide for them in the same way that, it's family in the work environment. So you have a huge mass of people that I'm sure, I know you well enough to know that you don't just lightly lead. You don't just lightly take this role. I know that one of the things that I admire a lot about you is you remember, no matter how large your group is, they need to make that connection. It is amazing and incredible. But I also know that comes with a lot of pressure for you. So how does that affect you, and how do you manage that?
That's a great question. I didn't realize, and thank you for saying how I'll remember this person needs to meet this person.
It's incredible.
Well, I thought everybody was like that. And then I realized oh no, that's my superpower.
Yes, it is.
And then I also have this weird Rain Man thing with dates and no, literally with dates and birthdays. I saw a member the other day and I go, oh yeah, your birthday is coming up. It's July 26th. And she was like, how the hell do you remember that?
Guys, Heels and Handshakes is no small group.
No.
Let's just say she's not at the 30-person level anymore.
It's very large.
The fact that she remembers these things is huge.
So I will say that that's my superpower. But to answer your question of how do I do it with leaders? I'm going to be very vulnerable. It's overwhelming. It really is, because it's not only, community, but the way that community and your team members, and especially if you have team members that are in different generations and they have different preferences, it's text, it's phone calls, it's LinkedIn, it's Facebook, it's Instagram. I'm there's so many ways to get in contact with people. That's overwhelming as well. But for me, like you said, you just, with your team or the people that are in your community, I care about them so much that I'm not only okay, we're doing the work, but I'm well, how can I help you? I'm such a servant leader. I'm always how can I help you? What's going on in your life? How can I pour back into you? So that's one of my leadership qualities is I'm always how can I pour back into my team?
But you're an extrovert. It's obvious that you feed on that, but you have to set boundaries for yourself to be able to sustain what you're doing.
Yes.
So how does that look for you?
So boundaries have been very hard. I'm a giver, guys. One of my mentors gave me this quote. She was like, givers have to set boundaries because takers have none.
Yeah.
So like I will remind myself, like, Shannen, you have to set a boundary, you have to set a boundary. So I don't answer emails after 8:00 at night.
Okay, good.
In the summer, I do summer Fridays. So with the exception of today, I was really excited, but I don't work on Fridays. That's my
That's awesome.
I remember my corporate job that was like a fun perk was like, hey, summer Fridays. And I was like, I'm my own boss. I should just make my own summer Fridays. So that's a boundary, you know, take that off to unplug. But I do have to do really hard boundaries with like not answering emails, taking Fridays off. And then also because, you know, the community is so big and I'm a giver, will have people will come to me and ask for something that is a member benefit. And it's been really hard for me because I want to help people, but I've learned to say, you know, hey, out of respect for my paying members, I cannot give that to you.
Yeah.
Which is so hard because I'm like, sure, let me make this introduction or let me get you on this. And I'm like, no, that's a member perk. So trying to set those hard boundaries.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's a fun balance.
I had a group chat, a text come across last night from one of the promoters from the expo with ideas. And I lovingly said, it's after 7, shut it down.
Oh, good. Yes, I love it. You're like, and also, guys,
give me a week.
Yeah, give me a week. But also, like, the thing with technology, you can schedule texts. Because so like, I will do that now. If I'm like, because, you know, I shared with Vanessa, I'm a little ADHD. I will be thinking, and I always like have my best ideas at like 11 or like at 1 a.m. in the morning. You can schedule that text. You don't need to be sending it at 8:00 at night. Like if you have the idea, you can schedule it if you have an iPhone or just write it down in your notes and then follow up. But yeah, boundaries. Like, hey, man, it's after 7. We don't need to be talking about this.
Yeah, it was funny because the guard came down on hers. She was like, LOL. That's when my brain comes alive. It's like, no, that's the last text you're getting from me. So
I've got to learn how to schedule those things. I do the same
I tried
thing
to show her, and it would. Well, now that you've got
emails.
a new computer, it'll work.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I'm bad about. I like to work on Saturdays.
He's like, no, boo.
No, because I'm CC'd on those emails.
Oh, yeah.
We get copied on most of everything that we're doing. But the good thing for me of working that time on the weekend, I don't have anything else coming at me. So
you can focus.
Feel like I can make some leeway on things that I have not felt very successful in doing during the week.
I get that.
It feels like a breath of fresh air. So there's a fine balance there. But with that does come, he works very differently in that I know he's trying to shut it down, but if emails are coming across, like he also has the push like the normal entrepreneur to take care of it then. So I try to respect that and try to be efficient in what I'm doing at the same time. So he's tried to tell me, you know, you can schedule that. And I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how to schedule that. That just means setting aside the time to figure out how to make that happen.
Yeah.
No, I get that too. Cause then that's like, okay, one more
thing to do.
But seriously, Vanessa, once you do, then you're just like, boom, 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 schedule it all.
Okay. I'll learn.
And it moves fast too. And it's great. Yeah, for me, I like, and I do this to myself, and it's like when you send out an email, we joke about this, like you don't have to touch your emails. You can show up and you can read them, and if you don't reply, right, they're not going to come back to you because they're boomerangs. Every time you send one out, it comes right back. So you get busy in a day, you just start responding to emails, well, then it starts coming back to you.
It takes over your day, and then you're not moving the needle in your business.
Right. So I like to leave the office with a clear inbox, clear text box, you know, all the notifications on all of the platforms. Everybody's been answered, and I peace out. And then by the time I get home, I'm just going to go 1, 5, 6, typically tops out about 15 emails. And I'm like, that's fine. That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go in and delete ones that I know that are just in the way, but I'm a zero. Like I just have to zero everything out, and it's a weird.
I can't imagine what.
There's some people that are like that, and then some people that are like, oh, I'll get to it. I would say I'm a little bit of both. Like I like to do the zero inbox, but then I've also realized I kind of like changed my mindset around this. If I don't get to it, I'm like, oh, that gives me something to look forward to tomorrow. And then I've also actually with boundaries talking about this, I had a couple member calls on Wednesday. And I knew Thursdays are events. So I set the expectation, hey, we had great. Then I have to give her deliverables. I was like, full disclosure, Heels this Thursday. I'm taking Friday off. I'll get back to you by Monday. Like that helps me. So I don't have the anxiety of like, I got to get back to that email. I try to set the boundary like, hey, I'm going to get this to you by this date. Because then
that was my next question for you, is how you organize. I'm constantly trying to, my role, I'm doing the business owner, we're trying to do he's the visionary. I'm more of the systems and processes and things like that, but we both do both of that as well. For me, I do a lot more on the administrative side of it too. I try to figure out, I feel the constant push of, I've got to get this done. I've got to get this done. I've got to get this done. And I literally have to stop my brain and say, okay, it's okay until tomorrow. Yeah. Are there things that are truly time sensitive? Because sometimes 3 weeks in advance, I'm thinking, okay, we got to push. We got to get this done. We got to get this done. But do we? Yeah. So how do you manage that for yourself? Do you feel that same pressure? Is it things like that primarily of setting the expectations to take that pressure off of yourself, or how are there different techniques that you use?
Before you answer that, we got to take a quick break.
Sorry.
We'll be right back. Before I cut you off, you had a question and you had an answer. Recap the question for us, Vanessa, before the break.
Stinking breaks.
I know, right? Sneak up on you.
So I wanted to find out about your organization with your brain and the pressure that comes along with having to feel like you have to do everything right now. How does that look for you? What do you typically put in place?
No, that's a really good question. So have you guys read Habits of Highly Successful People by Steve?
I think I've heard of it, but I don't think I've read it.
So he has a really good model, and it's like, is this urgent and important? Is this urgent and not important? Like it's a 4-quadrant.
Okay.
And so I like to think of that too. So like, for example, you get an email, right? So it's, urgent because it just came up, but is this important? Does it have to be done? Or is it just because it came up into your inbox?
Okay.
So I always look at, if something comes, I'm like, okay, do I have to get back to this right away? No, I flag it. Also, full disclosure, I have an assistant. Shout out to Vanessa, who is my right hand.
Oh, and what a great name.
Yes, it's such a great name. We love Vanessa's. So she also helps me with my organization. And as a business owner, that has been such a game changer because there's so many moving parts. And to let your listeners know, we just launched. Las Vegas has only been a year. So it's like Chicago, Nashville, Las Vegas. I'm having a lot come to me. And so it's just looking at, okay, what is urgent? What is not urgent? What can wait? What can I delegate? And so that's kind of like how I organize. Like if something comes in, I'm like, okay, do I have to reply to this right away? No. What are my deliverables that I have to get done for XYZ? So I kind of just look at it. It's like, what has to have an immediate response? If not, then I can also flag Vanessa and she can respond, or we can delegate it. And so I just kind of like go through my inbox that way.
That's great.
But it's been a lot.
How long have you had your assistant?
So I've had her for a year, and it's been a game changer for my business. It really has, because like I know I even walked in here, I was like, oh, I forgot to get to that email. There's just so many moving parts, and so she's been a safety net for me, is like coming in on the back end. And so I'll share another thing that's, we have such a great community. I love our community. And, our mantra.
Sensing some sarcasm.
So our mantra, I'm coming to it. Our mantra is surround yourself with women who would drop your name in a room full of opportunities, right? That's great. However, everyone that's in our community, they like to introduce me to people too. So think about your regular emails that you're getting, And then I will have members be like, hey, you need to meet this person. And I have to get really crystal clear. And this is where Vanessa will help me. Like, Shannen's not taking meetings. Or can you tell me what this meeting would be about?
Yeah.
It's like that thing that's like, this could have been an email. It doesn't have to be like a full-on Zoom or a phone call.
Right.
So while I was like, I love my community and I love when they connect me, I get a lot of those emails as well. Like, oh, hey, someone will be like, oh, you're part of Heels and Handshakes. Can you introduce me to Shannen? I want to get a coffee, or I want to get, happy hour with her. And so I'll get those emails, and I love connection, but not everything is, needed to be an in-person meeting. A lot of it can be a phone call. And that's where the boundaries come in too. Like, hey, we're in a time of growth. So here's a hack. In my calendar, I only give you 30 minutes because really you don't need an hour.
No.
And even if you do 45 minutes, like the first 5-10 minutes are like the, hey, how are you? Like, get to the business.
Right.
So I only do 30-minute meetings on phone calls.
I've recently made that change in the last 6 months too.
People appreciate it, Terry.
Yeah, as opposed to doing just, you willy-nilly. I think the calendar will
automatically
does an hour.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, I do not need an hour for this.
No.
Like, that's like, it, on one level, it's like, I don't want them thinking that I have an hour's worth of content to ask them either.
Yeah.
So, 15 to 30.
I was going to say, sometimes 15 minutes, if it's going to be a pretty quick conversation, there's nothing wrong with that, too.
Well, and because since you do the admin side, you can set up tools too, or if you guys end up getting a VA or using AI or whatever, you can set up tools before. It's like, okay, what are the deliverables for this call? Well, sometimes you realize, I can just answer this in an email. It doesn't even need to be a phone call. So Vanessa's helped me out a lot with that as well.
Well, I think so. Our audience is entrepreneurs in all different stages of this, right? So I think at some point in the early stages, you're taking all the meetings.
Yeah.
You're meeting as much as you can in person because you never know where those connections come in. So where you're at is now having to streamline that and whittle it down a little bit. How long has that been changed for you? Because you've grown relatively fast with all of this.
So I'm going to be vulnerable with your listeners. I have control issues, guys.
You and me both.
Yes.
So coulda, woulda, shoulda, hired an assistant years ago. And the moment for me last year, I'm a big reader, guys. Dan Martell, How to Buy Back Your Time.
Oh, yes. I love that book.
Yes. That to me, I was like, okay. And obviously I knew.
Eye-opening.
Right. And I knew I needed the help. But like the way he worded it, is this a $10 an hour task? Or is this a $500 hour task? And there's things that I was doing. And I'm like, yeah, when you start out your business, you got to do the marketing. You got to do everything. You got to be all hands on deck. 2 to 3 years in, you can outsource that. And even now more with AI. And so I was doing all these things that could be a $10 hour task when it's like I wasn't in my zone of genius. My zone of genius is relationships, partnerships, meeting with members, brainstorming, connecting, not behind a computer working on Flowdesk or something in Canva. So coulda, woulda, shoulda done it years ago, but I have control issues.
I think when you get to the level that you are, like all three of us sitting here, when you are leading the charge with business and really growing as fast as you are, I think you have to have control issues.
Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Oh, yeah, 100% blessing and curse.
The pain and the pivot comes with exactly what you're talking about, making that decision. We're in that same stage of trying to let go of some of those things and trust.
Right. Yeah. I put it all in a basket of the entrepreneurial drive, right? Like it's the gift and the curse part of it, right? It's like driving a car with only a gas pedal and no brake, which means you're gonna need to have some incredible foresight to make that turn up there.
Yeah.
Because you don't have any brakes, right? Your pivots are gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's and then there's a ceiling, and you can work. Right, this is where we're at right now. We're working really, really hard, and we're basically pushing up against that ceiling of, this is about to bust.
Yeah,
and
you can feel it.
There's only so much of us.
Yeah, you can feel it.
That bust, you're really hoping that once those things, those pieces that you're putting out there, and that stuff starts to come back in, well, then that's when we spread the work out. We bring another person in, and it feels like you're not doing anything all of a sudden.
Yeah, and then you're like, wait a minute, you feel like your productivity, right? You're like, I got to be
losing the house of cards can fall if you're not on every piece of it.
But those are the phases for me. It's like you work all the hours, you do all the things, then you bring in a partner, and then you split the work, and then it's less.
Yeah.
And then you work again until you're both now both of you are maxed out.
Yeah.
Right. There's your ceiling, and then the hope here is that your revenue is following.
Right. Well, that's the balance, right?
That's
Sometimes you have to trust that even though it feels like the revenue is not there, what you just said about the $500 an hour versus the $10 an hour is, unless I put the resources towards this to free me up to do those $500 an hour tasks. That's a very good way to put it.
And for your listeners, I know it can be scary because you're like, oh my gosh, I have to spend this money, for a team member. But then that's going to free up the space, like you're saying, and then you can be in your zone of genius and do tasks that are revenue generating tasks.
Yeah.
Yes, social media is great and newsletters and keeping up and all of that, but it's like, no, you need to make sure that you're having revenue come in. So like you're able to free up and be in that.
Yeah.
The breaking point for me was one day I found myself in my calculator app on my phone trying to dial a phone number. And I was like, Shannen, you need help. Like you are too burned out, like doing too many things. So, just coulda, woulda, shoulda. I wish I would have done that early on. And I know it's so scary to like have the investment and have the team member, but it took us a good 3 months because she was like, Shannen, let me do this. And I was like, no, because you get used to everything. Like you're saying, like, oh, this is what I do. And it took a good 3 months, and then we got into a really good groove. And she's been with me for over a year. It was her birthday yesterday.
And you did not forget.
I did not forget and gave her the day off. But yeah, team members, if you can do it, I highly recommend it. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Years early on.
Yeah, you're never going to win that internal argument with yourself about like, should I do it? It feels like because it feels like an expense. It doesn't feel like
it's scary.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like an investment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But it is though.
It's exactly what it is.
Absolutely.
It's exactly what it is. Now, prep yourself, right? You want to have a good SOPs, that you have a great job description, and maybe you put away 3 to 6 months of whatever you're going to pay that individual before you make that jump. You do those things, right, and it feels a little bit better, but you're still going to have the control issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with us trying to start doing some of that too, mine is, I promise I'm not trying to micromanage. I'm just very used to doing this myself. So give me some grace with that individual, because sometimes it does feel like, well, they don't trust me. It has nothing to do with that. So yeah.
Well, and here's a tip for your listeners. If you are like, okay, I think I want to do this in 6 months, I want to bring in a team member, I'm going to give you advice, something that I did. So I am an Aries and I'm an Enneagram 3. I don't like to slow down. I want everything yesterday, right?
Same.
So that was a pain point for me. I don't have time to slow down and train my assistant.
Right. Yeah.
What I did is, while you're in the work, screen record everything. I'm doing this, or if you're in Salesforce, or I'm creating an invoice, screen record everything. This is how I do an invoice. So you're not slowing down. You're still doing the work, but you're recording everything. And then I had a folder and it was training. So when I brought Vanessa on, which kudos to her, the first month was a little rocky because it was our busiest month. And I was like, I can't slow down. It's membership renewals. So, but by screen recording, so any of your listeners, if you want to get help eventually, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, while you're in the work, just screen record it. So you then have a toolkit. If someone comes in, you can be like, this is how I do things.
That's really fun that you mentioned that. That's how I trained my son to run podcasts.
Oh, there you go.
Because somebody told me that, and I was like, oh, that's so much. That's your SOP.
Yeah, that's your SOP. If you don't have time to slow down, just screen record everything you're doing and talk while you're doing it. This is how I do an invoice. I do this. Make sure to, blah, blah, blah.
That is a great, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to implement some of that.
I can't believe we haven't talked about this.
So I know we haven't.
So that's my fault.
It is.
But no, sometimes you're just, but you're in it though, right? Like you're in it. You're not thinking, should I record this
survival.
For future?
It's survival. 100%. You're just trying to get it done.
100%.
So hiring an assistant, you are married.
Yes.
How long have you been married?
So, 13. I forgot. We got married, and isn't that funny? I knew my business anniversary. Guys, that's bad. I said our business anniversary was our golden birthday, and then it took me a while to say my wedding anniversary.
So did you get married this
2013,
year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Craig and I got married 2013. And then started my business in 2013.
Wow.
So, this is all he's known then.
Oh, I know. Heels and Handshakes was our first baby. And then obviously we have our beautiful son together, Skylar. But we're going on vacation next Friday. We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary 3 years later. Story of being a business owner, right?
So is he involved in the business?
Yes. So he's very involved. And it's funny because when he goes out, people are like, oh, Heels and Handshakes husband. It's not even like Shannen's husband. It's like, oh, you're Heels and Handshakes husband. But Craig is very involved. He is now my CFO. And so, he helps with all finances. And it's also good because, I'm the dreamer. I'm the visionary. I'm like, let's do this. And he's like, okay, let's reel you back in here. And like, can we actually execute this? So he's very decision. He's an Enneagram 8, if you know anything about Enneagrams. Do you know anything about Enneagrams?
You're talking to 2 8s.
Oh, 2 8s. Yes. Okay, yes. So also a challenger, which is good for me to have in, my circle. So,
yeah. I think your second number is a 3.
Yeah.
Achiever.
Yeah.
So I'm achiever, but my wing is a 2, which makes sense because the
You're
2 is. Yeah, I'm a helper.
I'm a helper too.
Okay, I love it.
A helper.
Yeah. I love it.
Which is helpful when you are understanding who you are dealing with.
It offsets the challenger part for sure.
Yeah.
It's like you're not just challenging for the sake of challenging, which I do get into a habit of. Might have done that twice this week.
Okay,
for no good reason.
For Heels and Handshakes, I think it was 2021, one of our programs, we brought in an Enneagram specialist. So this was our program. And that was the first time I really learned anything. I was like, what the hell is an Enneagram? And then when I learned about an 8, I was like, oh my gosh. One, I think anybody in a business relationship, team members, everyone should do Enneagram. It helps you understand. But for my marriage, I was like, because he is a challenger, but that's your love language. It's like you play devil's advocate. You have to see everything. And I'd always be like, why are you picking, why? Not that you'd be picking a fight, but I'm like, why are you trying to say this? But that's just how they are. So it really helped me understand.
Yeah, it does. It is very valuable for whether you're running a business or anything else. Knowing yourself, that is the key.
It's fun to do that, especially in a marriage, and put them in ChatGPT and say, make this simple, help me understand this. And it's so great, the way it pumps it out. It was helpful for me and my wife as well. And then Vanessa and I's business partner relationship has been made better by it too. It actually has really helped me understand why I do what I do. Some of that stuff, that feels like a really silly statement to say, but it's
eye-opening.
Yeah, it's eye-opening. It helps you understand what drives you, and you can lean in towards those things.
Instead of seeing them as a bad thing or something you're doing wrong 100%. Or feeling insecure about it, it's that's why I do that.
I told her before my Enneagram, I was like, I just thought I was broken this whole time.
Nope.
All right, guys, we're going to come back with more from Shannen and right after this break. And we're back with Shannen from Heels and Handshakes. I spent a little time in the break going over more Enneagram stuff. I would like for you to share that example again.
Yeah.
Because I think it helps. And I know we get a lot of eye rolls when people are like, oh, personality test.
This one is different.
It's not. And I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know if you would even say it's a personality test. It doesn't really matter how you label it. The power of it and you understanding yourself and other relationships is the real takeaway here. So roll your eyes all you want. Okay.
Well, and it's self-awareness, but then also understanding the people that you work with. So the people you work with and then clients too. So if you're a business owner, you should be savvy with the Enneagram. Take time, find out what your number is. And then once you know the numbers, you're able to find out your clients. You're like, oh, they're this. So the example I gave when we did this workshop for one of our programs for Heels and Handshakes, the Nashville chapter, everybody learned their numbers. And then after the fact, we had 2 employees. So they work for a hotel. One was a 3, which if you're not familiar with Enneagram, it's an achiever. So we're like worker horses. A 9 is a peacemaker. So 9 doesn't like to ruffle any feathers. They won't say anything. So these 2 employees worked together at a hotel. They came back after the workshop and they were like, oh my gosh, this was very eye-opening. We'll just use fake names for the purpose of the story. So Stacy is the 3 and Katie is the 9. Stacy would be sending leads to her coworker at the hotel, a 9, and would just be sending leads. Well, 9 didn't have the bandwidth to take it on. But as a peacemaker, she never said hey, I'm too busy. She would just have resentment towards her coworker and was angry. And then that creates this toxic work environment. And then the 3 is always like, go, 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 achieving, was never taking lunch breaks. And so the 9, Katie, or whatever the fake name I gave, then was like, they held each other accountable, right? So then the 9 would be like, hey, just a reminder, take a lunch break. And then the 3 learned the language to say, like, to the 9, do you have the bandwidth to take this on? If she's like, I don't, she's like, it's okay, then I'll take this lead. And it just helped their working environment so much by understanding, the way the different dynamics were between the 3 and the 9.
That's what we're talking about, like cutting through what would feel like immovable tension.
Yes.
Right. Understanding what's actually in front of you and finding a way to work around it because you know who you are.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, and even in the realm of employees or people that work for you on your team, when you are personalities like we are, you are driver, like you say, the gas pedal, and that is overwhelming for people that are not that. So you've got to be cognizant of the people that you're working with and how you come across, because it can be intimidating. I get that a lot. Don't ever mean to be. It can be intimidating. It can be overwhelming. It can be you're doing too much. It's like, I don't know, they're from other species or something like that. So, but understanding that most of the people that you have on your team are not often going to be that same personality, and understanding how to work with them better.
Well, and then it's like, you also understand. So from a team, I definitely think you should do it for clients, because I realized a lot of our members are 8s or they're 7s, and the 7 is the enthusiast. So they like to do, travel and new ideas, and that helps you with the team, especially like if you're looking for sales, you want a 3 achiever. You need a closer.
That's right.
Not saying that 7s aren't, but like just being able to understand how people work.
Yeah.
And then for me on programs, I need 1s that are perfectionists, because I'm sometimes moving so fast. I need people to be like, hey, Shannen, actually, we forgot to include this. Like, I need people, like they say, outsource people your weaknesses. So it's like just understanding everyone's number and their skill set. And that's helped me be like, okay, I need to focus myself around these numbers.
Yeah, that's great.
Know your numbers.
Know your numbers. Know your numbers for your revenue, but then also know your Enneagram number.
Yes. All the numbers.
All the numbers.
Know all the numbers. Yeah, I think it's super helpful. I do want to give you a second to address those entrepreneurs out there. I know you say you're not a coach, but you do set the table, right? You do make these conversations and interactions happen, and you curate them.
I do.
And that's a thing that, that's an art in and of itself. I bet you'd be a great coach, by the way. But talk to the individual out there, or the individuals out there that are, they were in that spot where you were in corporate America, thinking about, what's this look like? Do I have what it takes? What is, and maybe think about the individual that's jumping industries.
Jumping industries. Okay.
And speak to them if you could.
Yeah. Well, how you were saying, oh, I'm not a coach. I think you should hire a coach, right? Because hire people that are smarter than you. I'm going to say it, just find community, right? Because community is going to help you see the holes that you're not seeing, right? So like the individuals that are in corporate America and they're wanting to make that leap, surround yourself with people that have those resources that can help you, whether it's like, okay, I want to get my LLC, or do I need to be an S Corp? Do I need legal? Do I need this? When you surround yourself in the right community, those people are going to be able to help you. Right. They're not taking the place of a coach. I think you should hire a coach. I'm very much for hire a coach, get in a mastermind. I love learning. I told you guys I love books. Like my husband's like, when we go on vacation, he's like, you need to read something that's not professional development or self-help. But that's just the nerd in me. I love learning. But I just think surround yourself with people that can help you. And, I know you have listeners all over. So unfortunately, Heels is only in Chicago, Vegas, and Nashville. So if we're not in your market, you know what? If you don't have the community, build it yourself.
And then working through the fear.
Yeah.
How do you get... Did you still have the fear when you took that leap?
100% still had the fear, but it's scared money don't make money. You have to do it scared. You really do.
It's so true.
And I still keep going back to 2020 where I was I thought I had everything figured out. And then 3 months later, half my membership, I'll share this, half my membership was unemployed overnight in March. Dang. And so you think you can have a game plan, and I prepped for 7 years with building the capital, and so it's you just have to do it scared, because you're never going to know. Life can just flip like that.
Yep.
That's what you call bravery.
Yeah.
Right. Moving through the fear.
Yeah. Moving through the fear.
Yeah. This has been fun.
Yeah.
Very enlightening. You definitely are people. We knew that before this podcast, but we appreciate you stopping by and sharing.
Thanks for having me.
Sharing all the things. Let everybody know what's next. Speak to the local audience. What's the next event you got coming up?
Yeah. So, well, I'll talk to the Nashville audience, which I think this is when I first met you, our speed networking event.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So June 13th, tomorrow, will be 2 months out. So I'm going to promote that event because it's our most anticipated event of the entire year for the Nashville chapter.
It's a great event.
Yeah. Speed networking will be August 13th at Loveless Cafe. Last year we had 140 professionals. And then we had 100 people on the wait list. So we are really excited. We're coming back. This will be our 6th year. So if you live in the Nashville area, please go to our website, www.heelsandhandshakes.com. You can follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, and we are going to start promoting the event. So
that event was awesome.
Yeah.
I did feel like a fish out of water. I was like, I'm being drugged to a woman's event. I'm the only dude there. There were a few other guys.
We have allies and bow ties, which I didn't even get to talk about. So we do have men that are part of Heels and Handshakes, and we call them allies and bow ties because I think it's important to have men in your corner like you.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
Thanks.
there you go.
Thanks for throwing me a bone. Appreciate it. Guys, if you found this at all helpful or insightful, we ask that you like and subscribe, share it with your friends. Check out Heels and Handshakes info below here in the show notes. And if you guys are tuning in on the radio, I hope you remembered the website. Say it one more time.
www.heelsandhandshakes.com.
And then also on LinkedIn and Instagram.
Yep, and LinkedIn and Instagram.
Yeah. So there you go. Get plugged in and guys, there are a lot of takeaways from this. That the big ones are that moving through fear, right? The bravery is
you got to
really,
do it scared.
Yeah, really, really important. But if you're risk averse, make sure you're prepared, right? The resources are really, really important. So, great stuff.
Thank you.
And guys, we'll catch you on the next one.